cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a windless palm. Fourth, let the will to life be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs and hence hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward miss. No atom of analysis. Sixth, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy roll on thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one overpowered time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet, even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart I lead thee. Thou art the master, I release.
She came to me with infections in her legs, arthritis, and a damaged beak last year, starting from the most gentle to the most harsh methods. I began with a moist toothbrush to remove as much old keratin as I can.
Crowley-da.
Unfortunately, because of her age and arthritis, she struggles immensely. This means that she needs a little help from a human friend. Not only is her beak flaky and rough, but it also has damage in the form of the stent. I'm going to try and fix as much as I can for her, so that her life can be as normal as possible. This flake shows just how thin the keratin can be. A guitar pick will help expose any additional flakes that I can remove.
Guys, use this.
Let the body of the still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a windless palm. Fourth, let the will to life be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense, observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs and hence, hour after hour, thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turn inward, miss. No animal sixth on one heart, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy appreciation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one overpowered time, that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet, even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, patience deep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen land. Last all these things in one o'erpower, time that the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere, thy radiance that rolls afar. Oh, brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in one and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abhor the fidget babes that tease the thorn. Next, let the breath rhythm be easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoop. Let my life be pure and calm, sway softly as a windless fall. Forth let the will to it be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs in hands, hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward mist. No atom of energy
I found. Let's see. The thing failed. Let me get back to it. Why is this not down? Okay, here we go.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in one and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will.
Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst support the frigid babes and tease the thought. Next, let the brethren be low, easy, regular, and slow,
So that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a windless palm. Fourth, let the will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs and hands, hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward miss the bosom of another sea. Six, on one thought securely pinned,
still every whisper of the wind.
so like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation, steep and strong, sling even God, should he distract thy attention. From the chosen
Last, all these things in one o'erpower. Time let the midnight blossom flower.
the oneness is yet even in this.
My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, oh brother of the silver star. Way,
I just hate when people can't answer a direct question.
True. She was. Abu Bakr says she was 6 and playing with dolls. I don't know any 19-year-olds that's playing with dolls unless they're retarded. And then she was 9 when he married her and consummated the marriage. This is why child marriages are so high. This please go ahead. With the gummies, I'm touching his face. Champagne. Random, making it a little laid back.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the frigid babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a windless palm. Fourth, let the will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance. Hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inwardness. No atom of analysis, 6 on one thought securely pinned. Still every whisper of the wind, so like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolonged, thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one o'erpower, time that the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star. the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with a great sea-specific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a windless palm. Fourth, let the will to life be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs and hands, hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and key, turned in oneness. No atom of analysis. 6. On one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolong, thy meditations deep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one power, time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere thy radiance that rules afar. O brother of the silver star. Crowley,
Observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs.
ropes rigid, thus thou mayst abort. The fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a windless palm. Fourth, let the will to live be bound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free.
From sense observe its entity.
Watch every thought that springs enhance. Hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward miss. No atom of an emphasis. Sixth, on one thought securely pinned. Still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word.
Next, still that ecstasy prolong. Thy meditation deep and strong.
Swaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one power. Time that the midnight blossom flowered. Oneness is yet even in this. My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
If thou restrain the expression true, thy glance to rapture's darkling blue, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, oh brother of the silver star, proudly springs enhance. Hour after hour thy vigilance intense and keen turned inwardness. No atom of analysis, six unknown thoughts securely pinned. Still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and stirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next to that ecstasy, prolong thy meditations deep and strong. Slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpowered. Time that the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress. Even of this high consciousness, pierced to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere thy radiance that rolls afar. Oh, brother of the silver star. There are seven keys to the great gate, being eight in one and one in eight. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abhor the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance. Hour after hour thy vigilance intense and keen turned inward miss. No atom of analysis, six unknown thoughts securely pinned. Still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy, prolong thy meditations deep and strong. Slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpowered. Time that the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress. Even of this high consciousness, pierced to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere thy radiance that rolls afar. Oh, brother of the silver star.
keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by cerements of will, corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abhor the fidget babes that tease the thorn. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow. So that thy being be in tune with the greasy specific soul. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swaying softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance, hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward miss, no atom of analysis. Sixth, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind, so like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation, steep and strong, saying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. All these things in one overpower, time at the midnight blossom flower, the oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress. Even of this high consciousness, pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere, thy radiance that rolls afar, oh brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will, corpse rigid, thus thou mayest abhor the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea specific swoop. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, sway softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance, hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward miss, no atom of analysis. Sixth, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind, so like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation, steep and strong, slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen past. All these things in one overpower, time that the midnight blossom flowered, the oneness is yet are 7 keys to the great gate. 8 and 1 and 1. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea specific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its sanctity. Watch every thought that springs in hands. Hour after hour thy vigilance intense and keen turned inward. This autumnal analysis. 6 on one thought securely pinned. Still every whisper of the wind. Yeah. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Till that ecstasy prolong, thy meditations deep and strong. Slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Past all these things in one or time like midnight blossom. The oneness is yet, even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's dark gleam. Improper attempt to supplement. Even of this high consciousness, pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere thy radiance that rose afar, O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayest abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea specific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to leave. Improper attempt to supplement. To the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs in hour after hour, vigilance, intensity, turn inward. Oh, analysis, 6 on one thought securely, still every whisper of the wind. So let the flame straight and unstirred burn up thy being in one word. Next, till that ecstasy prolong, thy meditations deep and strong, slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one orb heart, time at the midnight block.
Despite inflation, despite their lowly status, 8 billion pennies still add up to
$80 million. That's real money.
The trouble is, to get 80 million in pennies, the government spends $134 million. And to produce 1.3 billion nickels, as the Mint did last year, costs $124 million, even though the coins are worth only about half that much. It's weird economics when it really comes down to it, isn't it?
Well, from our perspective at the United States Mint, it's unsustainable. You can't sustain losses on pennies and nickels and expect to be a viable organization that benefits the American people.
Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs in hands. Hour after hour thy vigilance intense and keen turned inward lens. No accident, securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and stirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy, prolong thy meditations deep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpowered, time that the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet here, express emotion not to miss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress. Even of this high consciousness, pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere thy radiance that rolls afar. O brother of the silver star.
In recognition of this,
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8
in recognition of this, Otto I rewarded Conrad by marrying him to his daughter Luitgarda and appointing him Duke of Lotharingia. By 950, Otto's family had gained control over nearly all. In rec-
corpse rigid
To the height
thus
of the spit of the sun.
the fidget babes that take
Worthy is thy neck.
let the breath rhythm be
Launch
low.
Operation Strike Putin, Russian Hell Missile System.
Church will believe in the Jesuits, but she won't believe in the Jews.
So that
That's
thou
canon. All the good.
be in tune with the
Very
great
calm.
seas
Yeah, do that in Japan.
swoon. Third, let thy life be
Holy war! Coming off this land and killing pigs is a reality. Well, Joe and Cornell, these are all.
It's like, all right, working out.
Fifth, let the thought divinely
Yeah,
free
David
from
Fox is
sense
alive.
observe its entity. springs in hands. Hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward miss. No atom of analysis, sixth on thought, securely pinned. Still every whisper of the wind. Ecstasy, prolong thy meditation, steep and strong, slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpowered, time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress. Even of this high consciousness, pierced to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere thy radiance that rolls afar. O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid thus thou mayst abort the frigid babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea specific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that spring enhance, hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward miss. No atom of analysis, sixth on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper
cents, which are three.
Let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes, the tease, the thought next. Let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought
Asylum the tax burdens, which are 3.7 times higher than before the war, with little government expenditure being pumped back into the sector.
In recognition of this, Otto the First rewarded Conrad by marrying.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
Still that ecstasy prolong thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpowered time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere, thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
There's 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Cord frigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly
high def big screen. What anybody else has to say.
Shut up! You can change colors. Get your blue. Oh, the blue's so pretty. What the hell did you get my husband?
Pew, pew, pew. Being 81 and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of a will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm. Sway sorry as a well to live, be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense of serve and entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance. Hour after hour, thy vigilance intense and keen. Turn inward, no atom of analysis. Fixed on one thought, securely pinned. Still every whisper of the wind. Still every whisper of the wind. Sway softly as a will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observes entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance. Hour after hour, thy vigilance.
Senses and needs turn to witness. Know how to hold back notice. Someone's lost. You're listening to every whisper of
Like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation, steep and strong. Slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act.
last. All these things in one oh power. Time at the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this. My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in one and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will.
Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow.
So that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound.
The one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observance entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance. Hour after hour, thy vigilance intense and keen turned inwardness. No atom of analysis.
6 on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind.
So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy prolong, thy meditation steep and strong. Slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one or power. Time at the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this. My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness.
Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will.
Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be
wholesale partners rely on us for great coffee. We rely on you guys to get it there.
Being 81, first let the body of thee be still. The ceremonies
Rigid, thus always support. The fidget makes and tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm easy regular. So let thy being be in tune with the great seas Pacific soon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm. Sway softly as a will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs, enhance hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward miss, no atom of analysis. Sixth, on what thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind.
so like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up they being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolong, thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract
Thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpower. Time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is, even in this. My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
if thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root.
Discarding name, form, sight, and stress. Even of this high consciousness.
Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere.
Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in one and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will.
Corpse rigid, thus thou makes the moors, the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow. So let thy being be in tune with the great seas Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs, enhance hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward miss, no atom of analysis. Sixth, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still thy ecstasy, prolong thy meditation, deep and strong. Slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpowered. Time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is his, even in this. My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root. Discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere.
Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
Thus thou makest the boy. Fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy,
Greetings by the land. So we know that if you come over to this country,
in tune with the great seas, Pacific swoon. Let the life be pure and calm.
they're not like Jews,
Sway
but they're
softly as
almost
a
second
little
to
bit back.
Jews, bro. They're very fucking smart as Indians.
One
We
love
got the same thing over here, bro. We got like
let the thought divinely free from sense, observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs in hands, hour after hour, thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward, miss no atom of analysis. Six on one thought, securely still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one more time, that the midnight blossom flower, the oneness is yet, even in this my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling blue, discarding form, sight, and strength, even of this high consciousness. Next to the heart I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. The corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abhor the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great seas, Pacific swoon. Let the night be pure and calm, sway softly as a will to live be bound. To the one love of the profound, let the thought divinely free from sense, observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs in hands, hour after hour, thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward, miss no atom of analysis. Six on one thought, securely then. Still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one power time, that the midnight blossom flower, the oneness is yet, even in this my son, thou shalt not do amiss. stress. Even a little part of me